right. Hello. Good afternoon. Good evening, actually. The sun is going down. It is almost nighttime. I'm sitting here trying to soak up a little bit of what's left of this beautiful day and enjoying this peaceful desert, clear skies, and just relaxing. The puppy's here. He just finished eating. And I thought I would come and talk to my folks out there in YouTube land. And I really wanted to talk about some of the things that I've learned in the last month that I have started my YouTube channel. Some of the things that I'm learning and that I have noticed. There's a dog that's barking uncontrollably down the street. I hope that's not too loud for y'all, but nonetheless. So I have like 5 things that I have on my mind when I think about some of the things that I've learned or things that I've noticed about this whole YouTube journey and becoming a YouTuber, or posting videos or sharing your life with people out there, however you want to call it. So one of the first things that I would say has become very apparent to me is that you really do have to be your own person in this YouTube world. Meaning you can't try to be like any of the YouTubers out there who have already made it, or they got a lot of followers behind them, a lot of views. They have a niche, right? They have something that they're known for. You really have to find your way and find your unique skill or craft or personality trait that is going to be what your channel is about, right? I'm not going to say draw people to you, because people are drawn to all different types of things and you never know what it is. But I mean, to try to recreate, a channel like Mr. Beast's channel, or even a travel channel like, I Am Marwa, or, a eating channel where they travel and eat, like Mark Wiens, would really be hard probably to do again. So there has to be something unique that I know I need to bring to the table, and not just try to replicate some of what we have out there that is... What is this dog chewing on? Hey, stop it. My puppy is finding things to be mischievous with. But you really have to find something unique, and not try to replicate what's out there just because it has worked for one person, right? So that's one of the first things that I would say is really find your unique, what is it that's unique that you are going to bring or show to the world, right? And really trust in that, and just watch folks gravitate towards wanting to be a part of whatever that is for you. What are you doing, puppy? Oh, puppy wants to tell you some things he's learned about YouTube too, apparently. So anyway, that's the first thing. The second thing I would say is, and this is especially for people like me who tend to build habits really quickly, is try to build habits with your YouTube channel that are going to be realistic and sustainable, right? or even expectations. You can call them habits or expectations. I think this is something that kind of happened to me that I noticed, not by choice, but because of the circumstances and some things that were going on with our family. And I couldn't post for the last few days, or I didn't have the energy and the space mentally and emotionally to post a video or film a video. At first, I had a lot of time because of like the holiday vacation and things like that, and being off from work. And I had a lot of time to just kind of relax, and think about getting into YouTube and filming lots of videos over the last few weeks. And I started posting every day. That's how I started out. And so I kind of created a habit and expectation for myself that I would post every single day. And that was the norm. And it was kind of a rhythm that I fell into. And that's what I wanted to do, right? And I expected that of myself every day, that I would film a video and I would post it the same day. And that was that. And so I'm learning now, like I said, it wasn't by choice. It was more so life happens and you don't get to post every day. And so I'm learning now that I got to do some thinking about, how I'm going to set some realistic expectations and standards for myself, because I realized that I'm not always going to be able to post every day, right? Like there are some weeks when I'm super busy with work and I'm super busy, just trying to hold things together, that I won't have the energy to film a video. And I know that people aren't expecting that. I know that's my expectation that I put on myself. So it's less about what subscribers or viewers or people out there are expecting of me, and more about my own expectations for myself. And so I would tell people to, if you're like me and you really, you build habits really quickly and you have very high expectations and standards that you set for yourself, I would say to think about that early on, right? Before you kind of get into a rhythm of wanting to do things this way. And don't be afraid to kind of pivot and change things when you need to, because it'll all be okay. So that's the second thing I would say is, think about those standards and expectations you have for yourself. I think the third thing that I would say I've noticed about starting a YouTube channel and continuing a YouTube channel is you have to be really patient. And I'm not a patient person. I am part of, this generation of, what is this dog chewing on? I don't know what. Hey, stop it. I'm going to give him a bath in a minute, and I'm trying to get him to get out and stretch his legs a bit, but he is chewing up all kinds of things back here. So I would say you got to really have patience. People say it all the time. I know you've probably seen all of these YouTube videos about, starting a channel and gaining subscribers in 30 days and watch hours and how to do this and that and click a button and click a setting and you'll have what you need. And it is just absolutely not true for 99% of us. I know now that time and patience are probably the only things that are going to make a difference in all of this. It's not going to be anything that I can do that is going to make 100% difference in, being successful in the way that I want to be successful, with my YouTube channel. So patience, of course, is a virtue. That's what they say, right? um, you know, things just take time. These things take time. Um, and especially because I'm realizing that, you know, people always talk about this algorithm. Um, the algorithm is nothing more, I'm realizing it's nothing more than how YouTube wants to promote your channel or your videos. Like, that's really what it is. And I've said it in other videos before. It's, we have this pie that only has 10 slices or 12 slices, and we have 50 million people that we have to divide the pie amongst, and who gets a piece of that pie on what day, in what hour, how much pie do they get. You know, and then you put that along with whether or not people like the content, that determines how much pie they're going to get, and whether people are, you know, clicking a thumbs up or commenting, and that's going to also determine how much pie people get. And so that is the algorithm. Like, really, that is the way I understand it anyway. Okay, I know there's tons of videos out there to explain the algorithm and how you can tweak the algorithm and things like that, but that is really how I understand it. So in my mind, it's this big pie, and there are not infinite slices. There are finite slices, right? There's a set amount of slices, and YouTube is the server, right? It has to dish out servings of the pie to people based on what's important to them, right? And of course, we know that that's influenced by or informed by companies that pay money to advertise on these people's channel. And so they want the most bang for their buck. They want channels that are going to draw so many viewers, so that they can, you know, say, hey, look at my product, buy my product, to as many viewers as possible. It's not going to be a channel like mine at this point with only 60 subscribers, and maybe, you know, less than 100 views per video. That is not worth it for these big companies. They're looking for channels that draw tens of thousands of views or hundreds of thousands of views, and they can show as many people as possible that they have this nice gym equipment that they should buy. Right? So that's the algorithm, in a nutshell, the way that I understand it so far. I'm sure I will have a very different, or maybe not very different, but a little bit more, a better understanding of it later on down the line, when I spend a little more time doing this than I have so far. So patience and time are definitely something that I am learning are necessary on this journey. Okay, there's no quick way to get to where I want to be. It's going to take time and effort, right? I mean, there are things that I have to do too on my end as time goes on to make sure that I have the best chance of getting to where I want to be. So that would be my number 3 kind of realization about this whole YouTube thing. Number 4, I mean, I have tons of these, you know, learning experiences or aha moments. Number 4, I feel like I'm coming clean with this one. And I don't know why I feel like I'm coming clean, because I feel like this is a thing for a lot of people who are in my shoes, who are just starting out, and maybe not even just starting out. Maybe they're just trying to get from 900 subscribers to 1,000 subscribers and kind of bump them over the edge to monetization. But there was 1 week that I spent in my research trying to figure out how I can grow and branch out and find people to subscribe, and like really just desperation, really like becoming desperate with with trying to make things happen really fast. There was a time when I got involved in some, like I did some Facebook pages, like with, upcoming YouTubers, and then of course there's all of these channels that talk about, how to gain subscribers, and people come together on these channels in the comment section, and they, oh, puppy now has found a towel to try to, no, puppy, you cannot have this. I'm gonna bathe him in a minute. So he has this towel, and he's trying to chew it up and play with it. Hey, get down. Get down. Get down. Okay. So anyway, so they come together in the comment section, where there are these huge channels, huge YouTubers, and they come together by the hundreds and the thousands, and they say, oh, let's subscribe to each other's channel. If you subscribe to mine, I'll subscribe to yours. And it's supposed to help build subscribers. Now, what I've learned is it does not, or it did not for me. I'll say it that way. Maybe for some people it works out. Maybe I don't really even understand how it works. That's just my interpretation of what I was seeing. Okay. Did I gain a couple subscribers that way? Probably. But what I found is that I would go and I would subscribe to maybe 50, 100 channels. And then I would notify them that I subscribed and ask them to please return the favor. And sometimes they would, and sometimes they wouldn't. And even if they did return the favor, I might wake up the next morning or in the next 2 days, and I would find myself minus 10 subscribers or something like that. So that's why I say it didn't work for me, because even though you might go from 80 to 90 subscribers by doing that, or maybe even more, right, overnight, the next 2 days you might see your subscriber count drop by just that much or more. Now, I did some research, and I talked to some folks on some of these YouTube learning forums on Facebook, right? The pages where people kind of talk about how to do this whole YouTube thing for new people. And somebody told me that that is definitely not a good way to build your subscriber count, because if you have a whole lot of people subscribing to your channel, all of a sudden, YouTube may flag it, and especially if those people who are subscribing to you never even look at your videos. And so I think they call it, I don't know what they call it, but it's kind of like a ghost subscriber or something where, it looks like just what it is, right? That you were trolling for subscribers and you got some and they never watched it, and YouTube may just actually take those subscribers away from you some kind of way, because it wasn't really legitimate, or it wasn't like a real genuine subscription. So people have said it's best to, and maybe you know this, I didn't know this. See, these are things that I'm learning as I go. Okay. No. This puppy, no, he wants to chew my shoe. Give me my shoe. Okay. So anyway, I'm learning, and I haven't done that since that one time that I did, or maybe 2 times. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't. It wasn't really a positive experience, and it definitely did not make much of a difference. I don't think so, at least. And then even when you do that subscriber for subscriber kind of thing, if you don't have your subscriber list visible to people on YouTube, the people that you subscribe to and you're asking them to return the favor, they don't even know that you subscribe to them. Sometimes, I think, unless they have their notifications turned on, and it may look like you didn't subscribe, and it just becomes messy. To me, it just got really messy, and I'm learning that is not a road that I would recommend to new folks. Now, if you've done it and it's worked for you, good, right? I mean, it just didn't work for me, and I see what people say, or I see what people mean when they say, um, you need to really build a genuine following, because the subscribers that subscribe to you, when they see your content and they like it, are more likely to watch your content. The ones that you gain from just asking them to subscribe, and it's like a favor for a favor type thing, are probably never going to watch your content, or they're going to watch maybe the first thing and never really come back. And so it's not really going to help you with watch hours and views and things like that. So that makes a lot of sense to me. And so, yeah, that's my number 4, realization and learning experience. Don't do the sub for sub thing if you know, if you really want to do it right, if you want to do this whole thing right. Yeah, that's what I would say. No sub for sub. I'm trying to think of what my number 1 would be, because I feel like I have so many number 1s. I think I would probably say, for the sake of your sanity and my own too, and I'm still working on this because I still do this every day, multiple times a day if I have time. Stop looking at your analytics all day long, every day, because it's going to drive you crazy. So if you have, the YouTube Studio app like I do on my phone, it's very easy to click that little icon and pop open all of your statistics and analytics for your channel. Now, what I realized is, after looking at the analytics over the last month, is that it doesn't tell you, it is not accurate enough and up to date enough to really give you a clear picture to help you understand what's happening with your channel, right? And I've heard some other YouTubers say this who are already monetized, and they try to look at their analytics to calculate what their check will be like for the next month, and they will tell you that sometimes I think YouTube's numbers are a day behind. So that's number 1. They're a day behind, and they fluctuate, right? So there's that one part of the analytics where you can see what's happening real time with your videos, like how many watches you have, like how many viewers you have for a particular video. And there are settings that would make sense that the numbers would fluctuate. Like, you can look at 60 minutes, like how many viewers watched in the last 60 minutes, or you can look at how many viewers watched in the last 48 hours, which I think is the default. And then there's 7 days, and so on and so forth. And so you can see how it would change very often if you're looking at how many people watched in the last 48 hours. Well, every hour that's going to change, isn't it? Because 48 hours, I mean, the clock is still ticking. And so, once you get to the 48th hour, it's going to knock the last hour off and start a new hour. And I hope you understand what I'm saying. So the numbers fluctuate very, very often. And I've heard they're a day behind, which I've noticed, that might be true from looking at my own numbers. And so it will really drive you crazy to try to keep up with the analytics if you check it every day, or even multiple times a day, like I do. Like, I really do. I'm really getting obsessed with this YouTube stuff. And I have an obsessive personality. So I do recognize that about myself, and I give myself grace, because that's just who I am, right? Like, when I get into something, I get into it hard and heavy until I get tired of it, and then I'm on to something else. And that's just me. I know that about myself. It's not something that I dislike about myself. It's something that I accept, and I try to, I roll with it. I navigate that tendency. So that is my last, recommendation and realization for myself, is that the analytics thing, like looking at it all the time, like no, no. It's like if you were trying to lose weight and you weigh yourself like 3 times, 4 times a day. Like that really doesn't give you a clear picture of what's happening, because your body is doing all kinds of stuff throughout the day, and your weight is going to fluctuate depending on, how much liquid intake you had, how much you sweat, how much clothes you are wearing, and all of that, right? So just so many different things that are going to inform what the numbers look like. It will probably be best, I'm thinking, again, just like when you weigh yourself and if you're trying to lose weight or gain weight, it would probably be best to simply check once a week or whatever it is, like longer intervals in between checking. I feel like that would make sense. So anyway, that's what I had on my mind today. As I reflect on my journey so far with YouTube and, doing this for a whole month. Actually, it's been over a month. I think I started like right before Christmas, so it's been over a month. And so, yeah, I hope maybe you'll find some usefulness in this conversation, or maybe you have something that you want to chime in and say about this. Let me know in the comments. Like, I mean, even if you know all this already, like give me a thumbs up, or just type in the comments like, yep, I knew all this, I didn't need to hear it again. Or maybe you have something new to add to this conversation. I would love to hear what you have to say about it. So anyway, I'm gonna go and give the puppy a bath, and I'm gonna call it an evening. I wish everybody well. I'll see you later. Bye.